Throughout our lives, it's not uncommon for us to find ourselves faced with difficult situations. These situations require us to make hard decisions and assess our surroundings in order to find our way out of them. Critical thinking helps us in these circumstances, just as they helped Captain Sullenberger find his way out of what could have been a very large disaster. Captain Sullenberger is a famous plane pilot, mainly due to the events that happened on January 15th in 2009. This was when he was flying a commercial plane out of LaGuardia Airport, where it struck a flock of geese and ended up damaging the plane's engines. He landed the plane in the Hudson River and saved all 155 passengers, with only leaving a few injured. Captain Sullenberger was born in Denison, Texas on January 23rd in 1951. He enrolled in the U.S. Air Force Academy in 1969 and graduated as an officer in 1973 with a Bachelor's of Science degree, as well as a master's degree in Purdue University and the University of Northern Colorado. He served as a fighter pilot for the U.S. Air Force from 1973 to 1980, where he mainly flew Vietnam-era F-4 Phantom II jets. He was also a flight leader, training officer, captain, and mission commander for advanced aerial combat training during this time. He was also a member of an aircraft accident investigation board. He then started his career as a commercial pilot for U.S. Airways, which was then known as Pacific Southwest Airlines, in 1980, and this lasted for 29 years. He was an instructor, an Airline Pilot Association safety chairman, an accident investigator, and actually participated in several U.S. Air Force and National Transportation Safety Board accident investigations. After the Hudson River accident, he became a national hero and retired later to write his memoirs and concentrate on a new career as an international speaker on airline safety. It's very important for us to develop our critical thinking skills as we grow, in order to help our ability to make good decisions when it's necessary to do so. Learning from our experiences and gaining enough knowledge to prepare us for unfavorable circumstances can make a world of difference of how we react to our situations and whether or not we'll be successful in overcoming them in the end. An example where a lack of developed critical thinking was unfortunately prevalent is actually found in Captain Francesco Schettino, who handled his situation in a very different manner. Captain Francisco Schettino was a captain of the Costa Concordia, which was a cruise ship that struck a rock off of Italy's Giglio Island in the Tyrrhenian Sea on January 13, 2012. The ship capsized on its side, and he evacuated on a lifeboat before anyone else, where he didn't notify any of the passengers until an hour after the accident, until he had already reached land. 32 passengers unfortunately died during this event out of the 4,229 people on board. Captain Schettino was born in Castellammare de Stabia near Naples on November 14, 1960. He attended the Nautical Institute Nino Bricio in Piano de Sorrento and then worked for the ferry company Tirrenia, after which he was hired by Costa Cruises in 2002, where he started as a security official and then moved up to second in command, and then finally was promoted to captain in 2006. He served as the captain of a cruise ship called the Costa Atlantica in 2010, where he entered the port of Windham in Germany too fast and caused damage to a cruise ship called the Ada Blue. In 2014, he was the host in a panic manager course at Rome University, and when he was being tried for the disaster of 2012, he stated that the reason for his sailing off course was to impress the passengers on board. He also blamed Jacob Rusli Bin, the ship's helmsman, for his inability to speak English, which he deemed the cause of the misunderstanding of orders that Schettino gave to him, as well as the ship's structural malfunctions that contributed to the crash. He also was recorded to have had an affair with one of the female passengers on board. Because of his rigorous time spent in court and the damage to his reputation that it had done, he claimed to also be a victim of the disaster. After 2 years in the Italian court, he was found guilty of manslaughter and other charges related to the wreck, and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. Resistance affects our responses to information or a situation. When comparing the responses of Captain Sullenberger and Schettino in their situations, it's clear that in Schettino's case, various forms of resistance were at play. Our textbook defines resistance as the use of immature defense mechanisms that are rigid, impulsive, maladaptive, and non-analytical. Types of resistance include avoidance, anger, cliches, denial, ignorance, conformity, struggling, and distractions. When examining the different levels of resistance displayed by Captain Sullenberger and Captain Schettino, it's clear that Captain Schettino displayed a much larger level of resistance than Sullenberger. Captain Sullenberger maintained a calm, well-thought composure and dedicated his energy to solving the pressing problem through critical thinking and responsible decision-making with the aid of his flight crew. He was able to tap into his extensive years of experience in order to understand what actions needed to be taken in order to produce the best outcome possible for the given situation. Captain Schettino displayed a state of panic and egocentrism rather than solving the overlying problem and saving the passengers and crew members. Afterwards, he blamed his crew for the events leading up to the incident, and in this case, he clearly showed signs of resistance, such as avoidance, anger, denial, ignorance, and distractions. When interviewed about the Hudson River crash, Captain Sullenberger expressed what he thought allowed him to handle the situation so well. He stated that one way of looking at this might be that for 42 years I've been making small regular deposits in this bank of experience, education, and training. And on January 15th, the balance was sufficient so that I could make a very large withdrawal. This statement brought me to consider my own deposits that I've been making over the years, which would mostly include my college degrees, which is a bachelor and associate's degree, the family business that I've been working on, as well as trading, a group projects that I've had throughout the course of my educational career, problem solving throughout my lifetime, and building my critical thinking skills. Each of these items will help me face my own stressful situations by allowing me to be prepared, remain calm, analyze the situation accurately, and assess my results. By being prepared, I'm able to understand that I have the confidence and the ability to work through these situations that are presented to me, and feel like I'm able to remain calm by decreasing the likelihood of what-ifs and possibilities. If I start by analyzing my situations accurately, I can more effectively and efficiently work towards improving them and understanding the communication and perspectives that come along with it. Afterwards, I can assess my results and analyze and review how I handled the situation to see how I could do better in future circumstances, or to prevent the circumstances altogether. Based on the information we learn and the experiences we have throughout our lives, we are able to strengthen our critical thinking skills and continue to make deposits in our own personal safety banks. These deposits allow us to have the opportunity to surpass any effects of resistance that we may have when we become involved in our own difficult situations. And instead of turning to resistance, we are able to use our skills that we acquired over the years to be just as successful in overcoming our problems as Captain Sullenberger did on January 15, 2012, when he conducted the Hudson River Miracle. Thank you.